Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Wizard of the Coast has discovered collectability and FOMO. So, hi everyone, Mark from Solar Games. Today we're going to talk about how Wizard of the Coast has recently discovered that, yeah, FOMO sells card games. Who would have thunked, huh? What an amazing $5 billion idea here. That if you sell a collectible trading card game, that you have to make it collectible and also valuable enough to be traded for it to, I don't know, sell. So yeah, so Wizard Coast just yesterday announced that their secret layer product is now going to go from printed demand, which is effectively infinite print runs, to limited quantities. So there's going to be FOMO, right? They stated that they've been running secret layer for 4 years, that they have a pretty good understanding of the overall market, and they think they understand demand in a way that they basically think and believe that they can actually build enough supply locally within their warehouses before they launch a sale, then they effectively shouldn't run out. Of course, this does mean some very hot, very in demand products will run out. But of course, don't you worry, okay, you guys. We have good data and we know exactly what print run numbers we should run so that the product stays valuable and nobody ever has to feel bad. But everybody who wants a product can buy it, and then we don't have a bunch that we dump to Amazon, right? Right? We Wizard of the Coast knows this, right? They know this 100%, right? All the 4 years of data has taught them this about print run, right? If you truly think they understand print run at all, I mean, all you have to do is look back at last year. Like, you look at what happened in 2023, the print to exhaustion, print to overprint to every single warehouse. All the distribution has oversupply of product they can't get rid of, so the distribution are dumping them. Amazon's dumping them. They're probably dumping to each other. Okay, this is the Wizard of the Coast that we're talking about. That we trust that they understand demand and that their print run should be normalized. No, what Wizard of the Coast is doing here. So of course they play it off like this whole thing, this whole change is so that it's for you, the customers. Hey guys, like, look, we know you hate, ordering secret layers, paying us money up front for us to borrow that money for 6 months and then we ship you the product, right? That sucks. So instead, what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna ship you the products right away because we're gonna print them and then it's gonna be limited quantities and you better you better order them soon because they might run out, right? All they're doing is playing to FOMO because Wizard of the Coast has realized throughout 2023 that this whole like printed demand, lots of print, more availability, it's I know we say trading card game, a collectible trading card game. It's more of a game pieces card game. Okay, so it's basically if you it's like a board game, right? If you break the king or the rook or whatever, your best piece, you break the queen in a chest, you could just send it in for replacement, buy a new queen. It's fine. It's easy, right? Game pieces. So yeah, so at this point, I think Wizard of the Coast has realized that yeah, you kind of have to make it collectible, which means that they have to create FOMO. So the real reason why Secret Lair is changing to this new model is, well, number one, Gavin probably needs a bonus, and if he doesn't make Secret Lair work again, because Secret Lair has not been working for this year, so I personally have backed away from Secret Lair because we have too much product, and all the specials, deals, promotions, the discounting that they used to do for bundling basically is like non-existent. What they do instead is, instead of saying, hey, if you buy all 5, 6, 8 bundles, we're going to give you, let's say, a 20% discount, which is pretty significant, right? You're saving $50 to $80 for a big bundle. Instead of doing that, what they're doing now is, if you buy all this product, we're going to give you another card. But that card better be worth that much, but you also have to get the card, convert the card, sell the card, make sure it doesn't get lost in shipping. You don't have bad buyers who do some scammy, scummy stuff, right? So make sure the card doesn't get overprinted, because if there's too many of that version of the card, then you're dead. If there's that card gets reprinted in a future set, say for example Ravnica Remaster or something, then you might be dead, right? So that's not a good way to do it. So a lot of people have backed away from secret layers. If you're smart, you probably would have. There's of course from time to time things that still interest me. I'll go buy them, but overall, I don't just buy carte blanche all secret layers anymore. So of course they've realized this. Their sales data has told them this, that secret layer is definitely slouching. I know for sure it is. So the new tactic now is to say it's FOMO. Okay, guys, like, we're gonna print, and then it's not printed demand. You're gonna get your product sooner, but it may run out, right? So you better order them now. If you really like this thing, order now. What if we run out though? What if you really want it and we run out? Then you have to go to the secondary market. We hate the secondary market, and the scalper's gonna get you, right? But you ever for the people who still think that Wizard of the Coast doesn't know about the secondary market, thinks it doesn't exist or shouldn't exist, how do you think they price secret layers when they have 5 cars in a pack? How do you think they say these 5 cars are $40 and these cars are $50, or these 10 cars are $40? How do they know that? It's probably it's not the secondary market, it's the tertiary market, right? It's the fourth level market. Yeah, it's all FOMO, right? So look, Wizard of the Coast has to adjust. They're not doing super hot. I mean, the company is making a ton of money, and Hasbro stock is dropping because public perception. They are basically, honestly, right now, they're the martyr. They're the straw man that's being sent out there to kind of take the blame for what's happening across the board for the entire collectible trading card game industry, right? Too much oversupply. And I don't even mean oversupply by Wizard of the Coast. I mean oversupply by everybody. There's pretty much, I mean, I think the only card game that's currently like really low on supply, from what I can tell, is number one, Lorcana. And that's only because they just literally haven't printed the second wave yet. That has not hit the store. So everything feels more constrained than it actually is. And then, of course, One Piece. One Piece, it could be a strategic thing, but my problem with One Piece is the company that runs it. And I'm gonna tell you right now, some of these companies, these Japanese companies, they understand card games, they understand power level really well. And if you're in the Japanese card game market, right, that is truly the card market where everything goes to zero, because effectively everything gets overpowered by the next thing and then just keeps crushing each other down. And there's at the end of it, there's pretty much nothing left. So that's why I don't like. I mean, look, I think One Piece has a lot of potential. I think as a card game, if people like it, great. IP power, we've talked about this, very strong. But I don't really trust the company that's running it. It gives me that same feeling like Yu-Gi-Oh does give me, right? So I'm not a big fan of things like that. Anyways, not a video about One Piece, but in general, right? Oversupply across the market for all TCGs. Of course, Hasbro's on the front line, kind of taking the brunt force of this punishment. That's not fair, but they did cause a lot of damage, which makes it kind of fair, right? So they did start this whole thing. I mean, most sets now, they print, I think, 1 million boxes would be a pretty fair, estimation. Of course, Wizard of the Coast doesn't release print runs like other card games. But yeah, I would say pretty fair. Printing a million boxes is pretty standard for Wizard of the Coast, which again, for a very, very like well-established card game, I think it's fine, right? But of course, the problem becomes like there's also more sets. It's not just like 1 million boxes for like 3 sets a year. We're talking upwards of 10 different product lines per year, not including things like secret layers and commander decks and whatever other things, right? So we've talked about this also before. So of course, Wizard of the Coast has changed to a FOMO model. And I think this is a good sign that they're going to do this for across the board for all their products, not just secret layers. Obviously, secret layers is going to be a pretty important one where they're going to be like, yeah, secret layers, we're going to go into FOMO model. You have to order things ahead of time so you can, get in the front of the line. What if we run out? And then, of course, this, if it's successful, we're going to bleed into also the draft boosters and draft boosters don't exist anymore. Play boosters, right? So everything's more expensive now, and to justify that pricing, they have to cut down on the actual print runs. They have to. They can't charge $150 per box for play boosters. Actually, I think 150 is what they charge for distribution. I think that's right. Yeah, so it's going to be like 160, 170 for the players, something like that. Okay, they can't charge that kind of pricing for a play booster and then expect people are going to be okay with the fact that then there's going to be oversupply. Amazon will have a second wave. Your distribution will have a second wave. That means your LGSs have a second wave. Then scummy investors like me will have a second wave that we can sell for cheaper. That's not a good thing for them, right? So overall, like obviously, Wizard of the Coast realizes this, have to cut back on print runs, and this is kind of signaling that too. And honestly, this whole FOMO thing is kind of attempt. Secret Lair has been an experimental project for Wizard of the Coast. They are using it to learn about market demand, and they can very quickly adjust. And it's one of those products where they can quickly print it. They can quickly, because it's all reprints anyways. Very few Secret Lairs are new designs. It's a reprint thing, and also they can quickly like get it to market and just see how the market reacts. That way they can test things. Along with this too, probably is that subscription model that a lot of people have been, surveyed about. So if you've been a purchaser of Secret Lair, or if you've given your email to WOTC or Hasbro in the past, they probably sent you a survey sometime in the past about, you know, um, for example, like, what kind of products you might want to have, how you may want to buy the secret layer product. So subscription model is definitely one of those things that they're looking into at making it possible for the players. So that's probably going to come along. Now, when that actually happens, I have no clue. It's kind of up in the air in the future, but right now it's looking like we're moving towards that model, subscription model. So you may just start getting secret layers, on a subscription basis rather than you purchasing it directly. And of course, that helps them with their demand model because essentially, even though they don't have printed demand anymore, if you're all subscribed, well, they kind of have a baseline of how many they're going to sell. So it's still kind of a printed demand, which is kind of nice for them. Yeah, so all I'm saying right now is that Wizards of the Coast has actually, honestly, in some ways gotten smarter. And this is going to help drive sales for Secret Lair. And it's going to help because the people who are traditionally want to flip these kind of products are also looking at this and saying, yeah, makes it more flippable. But part of my concern is, rarity that's just printed and intended rarity isn't actually rare. And one of the things I always think about is like, imagine this case, right, where each secret layer that's ever made has only, let's say, 1,000 copies, right? So it's super rare. But instead of printing 8 secret layers per drop or 10 or whatever, we're going to print 3,000. Sorry, 100, right? So 100 per drop, but each one we only sell 1,000. So equivalently, still the same amount of secret layers, just more variety. Of course, you can't buy all 1,000 or 300 secret layers because you're taking a huge risk. You don't know which secret layer is going to be preferred by the player. And just because each one of those individual secret layers are all rare by themselves, there's no way, no guarantee that all of them will go up in price in the same way, right? Because again, it's just because each one product line is more rare doesn't actually make them just more valuable automatically. You still have to know things about what players potentially want, right? Obviously, we've learned anime works, cuteness works, any cultural references work with the geekdom, so your Lord of the Rings, Doctor Who, etc., Warhammer, right? But that's where it gets really tricky. So it's not. I don't think just having less quantity will necessarily make Secret Lair like more valuable. So we don't know. I mean, I think the FOMO thing will work. I think it will drive sales up. So yes, I do believe that. I mean, even with printed demand, there's a lot of secret layers that people missed out, and I could sell, for example, the Phyrexian secret layer or some of the Tokyo Land ones. So some of the really iconic secret layers. The cat one, for example, in the past, I'm sure they will be already almost like double what I paid for, like $80 instead of 40 now. And that's just going to go in the future. Again, this is, Hasbro earns a lot more money direct to consumers. They don't have to go through distribution. They don't have to go through LGS. They don't have to go through Amazon. It's all direct to consumer. And it's faster for the customers, right? But obviously, we all have to kind of fight for them. So if you want a feeling of how it will feel like when you purchase some of these secret layers, do you remember the Magic Christmas countdown secret layer? The one where you got 30 cards, one per day, whatever. It'll feel kind of like that one, where that's actually a really good secret layer for the price, and it was sold out pretty much instantly. So kind of sucks. Wherever the secret layers that are good, they're going to feel that way. So it is what it is. All right, Mark. All right, guys. That's going to do it for me for today. I'm Mark from Solar Games. Hey, guys, New Year's. Be happy. Stay classy. See ya.